Well, what's up and welcome back to Campfire Convos. On this episode, I have Courtney, aka Outdoorsy Courtney, with us, and we had an interesting conversation. Some of the topics would be environmental health and wellness and why you should give a fuck, the sustainability that's related to that with social media and AI, and basically just why you should give a fuck about any of it in general. Which I kind of said that, but we'll say it again. Yeah. Give a fuck.
Because it's important.
Or don't. Maybe we just stick around, find out.
Give an F-U-C-K. Can I get an F?
Quit saying fuck in my podcast.
Okay.
Anyways, before we get into that, we are sitting around the Pack Fire Smokeless Fire Pit, sitting on some click chairs, epic lounges. We sipped some whiskey that Courtney loved out of our High Camp flask, and we drank, as always, some Andy Shanny from the brew bank in Ridgeway, PA. So get yourself any of it, all of it, none of it, but whatever you decide, enjoy the show.
My bad.
All right, I feel like this is a good start off question, actually.
Yeah.
What is the thing that made you get into social media?
So I feel like our generation, right, like if you were born between like 1992 or like 1999, we're like that one generation that was introduced to social media in like middle school, like that really hard transitional year. And I think I had a social media from like 7th or 8th grade. Never really used it just to post pictures. But I think what really like had me have one since like 2012, I think my Instagram account's been there, was just a diary of like all those photos that I used to have, because I went through and broke so many phones. I still had all these pictures from Instagram, so I liked posting knowing that like I'd be able to like look back on the photos. But in terms of like utilizing social media to kind of like gain a sense of community and find like-minded people, honestly, and like that really brings me closer to it. It's weird because I also hate social media, you know, because I know there's like a lot of bad things that are linked to social media and for mental health and just everything, I guess, radioactive and all of that. But just balancing like your love for it, and it is like a job essentially sometimes, and then the fun and like the gathering aspect of it, and just meeting people and going on adventures. Like, it's a good way to connect with people from your past, or just connect to new people, I guess. Yeah. What do you think? What made you get into social media?
I mean, so I don't know exactly when it started. I know that I always thought YouTube would be cool, and I didn't really have any specific YouTubers that I looked up to, or like that I even watched a lot. It was more so like, oh hey, people can make a living doing the thing that they really like. Just if they're passionate enough about it, they can share that with people. And sharing your passion with people is the cool thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you, I do definitely think that social media has its pros and cons. I think there are a lot of cons, especially in the way that people currently use it. And I think it's our responsibility as influencers and creators to help the people more than the platform.
Yeah.
And I think that it hurts us in some aspects, right? Because like if I tell people to get off of YouTube and like go outside, right? YouTube doesn't like that. But my people now respect it more because I'm being authentic to them, so they're more likely to come back. So YouTube's mad because I sent them away, but then they come back and YouTube's like, oh well, maybe it's not so bad.
What you're doing is good, yeah.
So there's that balance of, you know, getting people off of social media but bringing them back. And for me, I want to make videos that help you get outside. And then I also want to make videos where if you can't get outside this weekend or tonight, or maybe the weather's shitty out, then you can kind of live vicariously through me in a way where it's like, hey, I don't get to go I don't want to go snow camping or winter camping, but this crazy bastard's doing it, so I'll just watch him do it and get that experience. So
my mom does that often with YouTubers. Well,
that's what I found was a lot of people, because I was never like that. Like I never watched long form video until really COVID, when I started learning like photography, and then that was the thing where I'm like, oh, I can help people do the thing that they like to do. And make like a community out of it and make money off of it and stuff.
The most important, the community aspect, I think, is the most important part.
Yes.
Because we lack a sense of community, especially traveling, and then like, you know, you lose touch of the people you went to high school with, or just you move to different towns, and so like finding a community that like supports you, and that's like, I don't know, eager to do things with you and like explore new things and like challenge themselves and like just get outside is like literally the main thing for mine too. Yeah,
I think each social media has its own job for me. Like Facebook is connecting with old friends and establishing the community and building the groups. Instagram is more like inspiration, like aesthetic inspiration.
Okay, yeah.
TikTok is more like the behind the scenes, like shit show kind of lifestyle stuff. And then YouTube is like the I need to learn something, this is where I go.
Yeah. But you know what's a commonality between all of yours is the authenticity.
Thank you.
Like they're all very authentic. Like although your channels may have something different, or sometimes I'll post the same reel that I posted on Instagram to TikTok because why not? But like they're all showcasing like the parts of you or like the things that you want to like put out into the world that like reflects your values, like being outside and communicating and like
I think
fucking awesome. Oh, sorry, awesome.
You can say whatever you want for the record. I don't bleep anything. I won't cut anything.
Okay,
so
cool.
if you don't want it out there, then don't say it. But other than that,
I'm
I
mad
don't
it's
care.
not getting cut.
No, but yeah. So I realize that the way that I use social media isn't for everyone, right? So like just because I go to YouTube to learn doesn't mean that's the only place people go. People also go to TikTok a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure Instagram, I know like recipes and stuff is on there a lot. I find myself going there for recipes decently often. But like you said, the true to you, the sharing your values, I think that's the most important thing with any social media, because you know, I can watch a viral YouTube video or a viral TikTok and see how to recreate it.
Bless you.
Ouch.
A tes soir. I think that's how you say it in French.
Hit my entire shoulder. I think I might have been Campfire Convo's first sneeze. That was rough.
No editing it out.
Yeah, for real. I did say it would be in there. No, so so being the true to yourself and being authentic, in my opinion, is the most important part of any of that. Because if anyone comes across your stuff, it's not hard to go on like Instagram and see, hey, this is the viral video. This video went extremely viral, got millions of views and millions of likes, comments, all that stuff. And reverse engineer that, right? Like I can say the same hook. I have all of the skills to do those things, but I'm not gonna do something clickbaity for the views. Like I understand that it's like you have to use the evil power to spread your good message. Yeah, and I think that's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that's why I'm so much more into YouTube than all the other social medias, because I don't like tricking people's brains into just watching. Yeah. And then I just feel like the connection isn't authentic. Like I was talking to someone, actually, one of our last guests, DJ, we're talking about like shorts and posting them on YouTube. And my thing is, he said, yeah, every time we post a short, I'll get like 5 or 6 subscribers. And he's like, that doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, that adds up and all this stuff. And I fully agree.
Yeah.
Where I go back and forth with that is I have 5 or 6 new subscribers, but are they here for me, or are they here for that clickbaity video that I made that like, oh, well, that's cool, I'll follow. Yeah. And that's where I don't know how to, I don't know how to figure that out, right? Like if you watch like 20 minutes of my 25-minute video on how to do something and you hit subscribe, you're in, right? Like you've watched like enough of me. Yeah, you're like you've seen my personality, you know how I'm gonna be, and you're accepting that.
But you're getting engagers interested in what you're doing. So to be able to gain a follower off of like a short little video, something you said in that like 10 seconds like must have been impactful, right? Yeah. So I think that's kind of cool to think about, because then like, I mean, you'll either keep them as a follower or they'll unsubscribe at some point, or just, you know, forget that they subscribe. But I guess the reason being, like, you're still like you're reaching someone. Yeah. You know, like without even much effort with the short. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the little bit of effort that it takes to grow with shorts is both good and bad, I think. Because, well, so there's a lot of, I don't know if you're familiar with like YouTube's monetization and stuff, right?
Sort of, but I haven't dabbled really in YouTube.
So basically, and I don't know if these are the accurate numbers, but it's something close to this. So if you're going to be a short form creator, you need 1,000 followers or subscribers and then 10 million views on Reels.
Okay? And what's a short form creator?
1 million views.
You sure? I don't think that's right. Anyways.
To make shorts?
So short form creator or short form YouTuber is like you primarily have your audience on shorts.
Okay.
So you have short form and long form. You can do both. Like I can make both videos, but to get monetized, you have to hit those milestones. So I believe for short term or short form, it's 1,000 subscribers and 10 million views.
Okay.
And then for long form, it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So that means someone has watched 4,000, or people have watched over 4,000 hours of your content.
That's cool. I see. I really do like how you can like see the analytics.
Yes.
It's really interesting.
The analytics for that is probably my favorite part because there's so much into it. But so for me, I've decided that I want to focus on the long form, and I'll mix in short form every once in a while. And I probably should start dabbling with that just so I can understand it more, because even if I get the subscribers, like it's not bad to have the subscribers, right? So
very true. And it could literally just be a little clip from your long form video.
Yes. And that's what a lot of times, like a lot of people will do that, where they'll take like a 30-minute video and then condense it into 60 seconds, which I don't know how the fuck they do it, to be honest.
How does that even happen?
That doesn't seem plausible. I guess if you did like a little mini series maybe, but
I'm just thinking about like what we were talking about earlier,
like the catch.
What is that term? I can't think of it. Skipping or the...
Oh
my God.
What did we say?
When a video skips.
When it chops along.
Yeah, choppy.
Yeah, it's so choppy. It's like, does this even make sense? Can you process it fast enough for it to make sense? And I feel like most of the time it's not if you do something like that. But you can't take little pieces, right?
That's very true. But I feel like we get information overload with like all these photos or clips like together, right?
Yes.
Like, and then you have to rewatch it because you're like, well, what was that clip? And then it's just so fast. I feel like it drains our brain to an extent. I don't know, they're really cool videos, right? Like the long carousels, I think that's what they're called, but like the photos that are like and then it turns into a video, which are really cool. But then also when you start to just watch those and then your algorithm sees that and you're scrolling for 20 minutes of that same thing, like you're literally like making your brain spaz.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people don't dive into like the mental health and brain like development aspect of that, because they're like, oh, cool video, right? And if it makes you feel joy for like 2 seconds, great, because like do it, but like not longer, like you know, or give yourself space to
well, with
understand.
like for the algorithm, right? So Instagram specifically, if you make a 5-second video or a 7-second video, and it's so fast that people can't process it in that 7 seconds. Now they're watching it 2, 3, 4 times, right?
Yep.
Well, now the algorithm is rewarding you because it's like, oh, they watched it 400% of the time, so that's a big boost for them showing to other people.
You, is it? Yeah.
So it's rewarding the stuff that's not good for the viewer, but it's good for the platform.
Yeah.
And that's the frustrating part, is
to get to that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what you're like with the mental health part of it. Like big companies in general, and especially social medias, don't seem to give a shit about the mental health of their viewers. They want our mental health to deplete
because it increases pharmaceuticals, like whatever. But
well, that, and it also increases like even if they're not connected, which I find it hard to believe, but if they're not connected at all, you have the social media people who, okay, now you're depressed. Well, how are you getting that dopamine hit? You're going on social media. So now you went from watching an hour a day to 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Well, now your ads, the ads that they can sell to you are just 10x because you're watching 10 times longer. And
seriously though,
it's definitely a circle that you can, or a cycle that you can see happening, and you have to physically know what you're doing to pull yourself out.
Having that awareness is so important, especially as a creator too.
If you don't have that, like most normal people, if you don't do social media, you don't have to learn to understand the analytics and the algorithm and stuff. But again, but
even as a common user, I think, sorry for interrupting you, like I was in shock. I watched this documentary, and I think it was called The Social Dilemma, right? And it was literally about how our phones know what we're thinking, or they know what our next move or action is before we do, because it's been learning us since we started using it. And I was on Instagram like a long time ago, and I was really upset about something. And then I just kept seeing more sad stuff. And it's because the phone like knew I was sad. So what is it going to do to keep me on longer? Introduce me to more sad videos and like literally deplete me, and then spark my interest with a happy uplifting video to keep me on again when it knows I'm about to go off. Yeah. And I was like, that is insane how like brainwashed I am, and I didn't realize that. It started to make sense to me. I'm like, why is this stuff so sad? It's not my algorithm, but at night, like my phone indicated at like 11 p.m. to 1 p.m. in like college, this girl's sad, so let's make her more sad. I'm like, why would my phone be after to get me like that? I don't know. It was very interesting. The Social Dilemma on Netflix is a very good documentary.
The scary thing is that was a pretty good while ago that came out, like before AI started being implemented.
Oh gosh.
So now that they had all those analytics, they had all this information that they were using with AI, you feed all that to something like a ChatGPT that can analyze all of that information like that. Like how do you get out of it? It knows you better than you know you.
Exactly.
And I find myself like I will make decisions based off what I think it would want me to do, and I'll do the opposite. I'm like,
Good,
oh,
okay.
you want me to buy this? You want me to buy this? Nope.
Nope.
Oh, you want me to stay on the app? Nope. I'm off now. Like
I do that too.
Ain't working on me this time. Like
I'm showing up for myself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a snooze you lose type thing. I'm like, own you phone.
Yeah. And now you're in airplane mode. Good luck. Like,
truly though.
Or put you in like a soundproof box. I mean, that's what I should start doing is play like music into the speaker and just confuse the fuck out. Like make it sound like I'm talking. Use AI to create my voice to tell it stuff about me that's not me.
Yeah, manipulate it like it does to us.
Yeah, exactly.
You just talked about airplane mode, and I just learned that obviously the airplane, we all have to put our phones on airplane mode when we're flying regardless, but it's not because it's going to interfere with the pilot's route. It's because at 30,000 feet elevation, the amount of like electromagnetic, like not radiation, whatever that's called, like that's like very harsh on the body. The magnetic thing that it does to your body. In a 3-hour flight, you get as much exposure to that, the phone chemistry and the toxins in the air, and just like what's that term called? Not radiation, but like electromagnetivity.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I can't think of the term.
In 4 hours, or like 3 hours, it's equivalent to like a week or two of just normal phone use.
Oh damn.
So that's why they have you turn it into airplane mode, because your phone is like striving to find, like, it's like working crazily to find some sort of connection or tower, but there's nothing around. So then it just goes into like overdrive.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just, radiates a bunch of bad crap.
I did not know that.
Really interesting. I was like, huh? Makes sense though.
Yeah, I'm definitely that asshole. It's like, I don't need to put my shit in airplane mode.
Well, you just got your soul is probably like, oh no, think from radioactivity.
But okay, so with all of that said, you've commented not just today, but a couple times throughout talking the last day or so about mental health and its connection to it. Where have you? I find that when someone references it or talks about it, they've had an impact on themselves.
Without a doubt, that's a good observation.
Yes. Have you? And obviously, you don't have to go into detail if you're not comfortable with it. But like, what has been your relationship with it? What has helped you through it? And where do you plan on? Like, what role do you plan on using your platform to combat the issues that you've had?
That's a lot to answer, but I'm eager that you asked that because mental health is so very important to me, and from a young age. My mom's health was never good, like really bad, and the doctors gave her like a life expectancy till she was 45. And when I was like 13, I found that out. I was like 12 maybe, and her mentality and the way, like her mental health from my father leaving and like, you know, just life not being in her favor, she just completely transpired her own life, and like thoughts shape your reality. So every morning she would wake up and say, I don't have lupus. So like I got to firsthand see the impacts of your thoughts, and just like you are capable of making the life that you want, not about your circumstances. Like life is literally 10% about what actually bless you.
I'm so sorry.
You're okay. It's that fire, man.
I have an itch in the back of my throat. I was trying to kind of fight it. I'm like sneezing, okay. I'm coughing, I'm all over the place today.
That's usually me. That'll be me in 5 minutes probably. I'm
gonna run out of beer trying to get this itch to go away. All right, sorry.
No, you're okay, you're okay. Itch it, or?
I don't know how, it's in the back of my throat.
like that. Like French baguette.
Wait, Carly gives me shit now, I can't even remember how I do it.
Pretend like you're gonna do a hawker. Yeah.
She do like all different things. It's never the same. It's weird.
Really?
Hold on.
So
Maybe if we take a little hit of whiskey, maybe that'll.
Maybe
Singers when they warm up before
They're like,
they make all the, it's like that, but like grosser, more gross.
how far does it go? Like when you spit a loogie? Is that what it's called?
Well, I can do that.
I'll take a swig of that just for, or maybe I can wait.
No, too late now.
You know, midway or whatever.
If you start drinking whiskey to clear your throat, I'm gonna be driving us home.
It's really good.
That's gonna
If
be our
that
thumbnail.
didn't clear your fucking throat, I don't know what will.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's gonna be our thumbnail.
That's a good one.
She goes really good.
So okay.
All right, I'm so sorry.
No, you're so okay. What
So
was
the
I
power of the
talking about?
thoughts. She was
thank
waking
you.
up saying
Okay,
that
yeah,
it
so
doesn't have.
Every morning she would just tell herself she doesn't have lupus. So she wasn't living her life defined by like her life expectancy or like having this like really bad illness that affects like literally all the organs internally in your body. So it affected many of them, right? But like, you know, she's on medicine and she does these things, but she literally wakes up still every morning. And at one point, so now she's, I guess I can fast forward to, she's 58, so completely beat the life expectancy that the doctors had set for her and exceeded the expectations because sometimes she'll get blood results, like checkups, and sometimes it doesn't even, like lupus doesn't even show up in her blood.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, okay, Mom, okay.
Awesome.
So it's like her thoughts, right? And she just, so I guess with mental health, like I was able to watch her like be depleted, like never getting out of bed, just from life circumstances, but like also her illness and like lupus flare up. So when she gets stressed out or like, you know, overwhelms herself, there's these flare ups that'll happen. So it's like like a butterfly rash around your body. So then that takes a few days to recover. So she didn't get those, she would just not get stressed. Like, so in order for me to like help her through it, obviously like it was her and I, like ride or die, like she raised me for sure. And my brother just went off to college, so we would just do things together, like mindfully, like just slow evenings. Like then she got a job and she loved working at Shell gas station. Like that was like she was in her prime. Like she loved it. She actually sent me up on a blind date with someone that she met getting gas. I'm like, Mom, don't ever do that again. But yeah, so just happy and like choosing to be happy, right, instead of dwelling on like life. And so that shaped my opinion on mental health. Is it's so important, and it's not talked about enough, and it impacts your entire life and your overall well-being. Like when your mental state is not okay, nothing in your life feels like it's okay. So like I feel like we have to prioritize like ensuring that we are internally well, and in order to do that too, we also have to have an externally good environment, because that ultimately affects inside. And then just being aware of like what brings you joy, what stresses you out, like who's good who's good for you in your life, who's supporting you, or who's making your life harder. Like just having that awareness to those like life stages, I guess. Like you lose people, you gain people, but like staying true to who you are. So mental health to me, I had depression really bad. I was like an alcoholic, and that was like, you know, it could be a phase, right? But if it won't be a phase, and it can become your life if you allow it to overcome you. So nature literally healed me, and I think that's why I advocate so much for like outdoor spaces, because I didn't need to take medication anymore, and like I was able to find joy in life and stop drinking as much and just do things for me and like live my life for myself eventually, right? Which takes a while because you have people in your life or your relationships and you devote your time and energy to them. But I needed to focus on my own mental health, I was getting my master's in mental health and wellness at Grand Canyon University, and I literally felt like, what's that thing called when you like you feel like like you're not fake, but like you are, it's like a term, I can't think, I'll come to it, but like I was just so like, I don't know, like I felt like I didn't belong getting my master's in mental health and wellness when mine was so fucked up. But I used that as like a motive to just focus on learning so much more about the mind, which I've always been fascinated about the mind since like I was like 12 or 13 with my mom's the thoughts and stuff. So holistic health really changed my outlook on everything. But yeah, it was just like getting to the root of the issue has always been something way more impactful than getting prescribed something for your mental health, because I can go and get prescribed 5 pills for something that's so temporary, that's not resolving anything, that's actually going to long-term affect me.
Yeah.
And it's so sad how my brother, for instance, is in that same realm, like relies on like a pill, but there's nature like did so much more for me than a pill, and it was just being outside and like grounding my feet and just listening to the sounds and like being away from my phone and like just only caring about like what's right here in that moment, and just like touching trees and like leaves and moss, like literally like the sensations, and like we forget about how important like all of the senses we have. And so that's healed my mental health, right? Like, but it's important to me because it can really make or break your soul.
Yeah.
And my little cousin committed suicide like 4 years ago, and I was in college, right? So I didn't really see him often, but like maybe twice a year. And I seen him like a month before he had done it, and he seemed so happy. And so that was a huge wake-up call for me, because like someone that seems so happy and that doesn't have mental health issues may be the one that's suffering the most.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was me at one point too, and I wish I would have, you know, been able to expose him to like, you know, a hike or like something that could like 10 minutes could have changed that decision. But like I was in his life that, you know, persistently, I had no idea he even struggled with any of that, because he seemed so happy when I saw him.
Yeah.
Like he's like, "Want a shot?" because he finally turned 21. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, and he just seemed so happy-go-lucky, and it was just like, that was so deceiving, because he obviously was struggling so much internally that, I don't know, his friend group was were a support system. So it was shocking, because like you would think community and the support system is something that would really alter someone's, you know, choice that they make, but that's a choice that you can't take back.
Yeah.
And like I feel like, I don't know, it's good to be open and authentic and talk about your experiences and like relate to people, because you could really open up the door to someone who is struggling internally with mental health but doesn't know how to say it or approach it. And like I'd say learn about the mind and the body and how it operates, and like it's so cool. First of all, like it's just so neat to learn about the development of your brain, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
So much. Yeah.
Well, that was a 20-minute ramble.
No, that was
So
great.
sorry, oh my
No,
gosh.
absolutely not. That was awesome. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
I know it's mental health is a hard thing to talk about sometimes. And I actually want to ask you some questions, and I feel like this is kind of a weird time to throw some logs in, but we need to. But because we have a supporter who was actually on the podcast last season, and I know mental health is really important to him, so I want to do his logs for this.
That's
I think
perfect
that is fitting.
timing. That's awesome. Thank
So
you.
Jared and Trinity, these ones are from you. We appreciate you. If you want to be like Jared and Trinity, you can check the link down below. I don't know if you were here for when I talked about the Buy Me a Log thing.
Oh yeah.
But basically, the supporters buy the logs, keep the fire going, and once they're in for the season, they're honored throughout the season, if depending on tier. But regardless of tier, they are recognized at the end of each episode for the entire season. So any of the supporters, if you stick around to the very end, after the outro and our shot and everything, you get to see all the names of the people who support the show and make sure it keeps going. So
It's very important to support.
it is.
Thank you.
It makes this
Yay.
possible.
You're help me stay warm, supporters.
Yes, yes.
Maybe burn eyebrows too, but we're fine.
Yeah, we were a little close at first.
It was like, I think it was that gust of wind. I was like,
Yes.
I like inhaled at the tip of the flame.
Like
I don't
tickled
know.
your face, yeah.
Kind of tastes like that whiskey. I don't know.
A little burn.
How do you feel about mental health? Have you ever undergone something like really traumatic in your life, or just even felt depressed? Or
So yes, I would say my relationship with mental health is different, I think, than most people's. I definitely had some situations that made me feel very not good. And I think I downplay it a lot because I know that there's people out there who've dealt with way more ridiculous or tougher things. So I, for a long time, justified it like, well, I can't talk about this because my experiences weren't as severe, right?
Can I interrupt you just for a second?
Yeah.
I felt that way at one point too, mainly because I felt like I didn't want to share my circumstances because they were just really harsh, and compared to like someone else's, like a friend, like, you know, being sad that like the mom didn't text her back, and meanwhile my dad didn't come home. So the comparison is what like is really hard, because you're still going to ultimately feel those same feelings that come with like any type of like incident or just like circumstance or like thing that's going on in your life, no matter the extent of it, right? Like, so like validate that, right? Like,
and I think it's easy for people to go like, okay, silly example. Say, hey, I got fired, right? Well, that's not a great thing. I now have to change my life. I got to do all these things. And then someone else is like, you know, my significant other passed away, or someone very close passed away. And it's easy to be the person who's very hurt and look at someone else who's hurt and go, my hurt is worse. But I think the thing that needs to be
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it is. But I think that's the important thing. Like, it's, you can't tell someone who's depressed in the moment that they're being an asshole, right? So I think it's important to, before that happens, to have the conversation like, hey, just because your situation, or you see your situation worse, doesn't mean that they're not feeling the same way. And by you downplaying how they feel, like, how would you feel, okay, say your pet died, right? Terrible thing. And then someone else has a parent who dies, or a sibling who dies.
They're going to compare.
Is that person like, okay, my dog died. I would be devastated if I lost my dog, right? But like, someone's goldfish dies, and they're really upset about it. But does that mean I can downplay them? No, because they're feeling that pain.
Yeah, it could have meant the same to them as your pet meant to you,
exactly,
or your relative or spouse,
and the family to you. Like, you could like, there's always someone out there who has it worse, right? So if we just compare, you know, emotional dick sizes, where it's like, oh, my hurt's worse
with a dick piercing. I'm just kidding.
And it's just like, why is that? Why does it have to be that way?
Yeah, why is that even like being brought up? We're both hurting, and let's sit there with the hurt, not compare whose hurt is more substantial, or you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
so I think that's the approach that I've been trying to go for relatively recently, is just more so like, hey, just because I don't know that I've had as bad, I've had those feelings that have made me feel very terrible. So I understand that part. I'm not going to pretend like I know what you're going through, because, you know, we experience a million different things a million different ways. But I understand this feeling, and this is what I did to help me. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. But my thing is, like you're saying with the outdoors, I say the outdoors saved me, right? Because I was at a point where like I wasn't happy with my life. I wasn't happy with the direction it was going, and I reconnected with nature, and it changed the course of my life, right?
Seriously,
so I'm now building a platform off of trying to share that with as many people as possible. And you know, there's what, 7-8 billion people on this planet at this point. For 7.9 billion of them, maybe it doesn't work. But for that 0.1 billion that it does, my message is for you.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, like, I don't have to touch every person on the planet. I just want to touch a couple people to help them as it's helped me.
And then that's like the ripple effect, though, right? And like, that's so important, because if you touch someone or impact someone, and you relate to them, and you speak to them, right, or impact them and help them in any way, whether it's like it got their day, they were able to use 5 minutes on their work break to watch your video and take away from like their shitty cubicle job. If you, just a small example like that, but like, you impacted them in that way. But like, there's so many different ways to impact others, and then they can share what they like felt from your stuff, or like what your motive is or your mission, and like the idea of like, let's go on a hike. Like, this dude that has like meander more goes on hikes, let's try it out. And like, it literally, and then their friends, and then communities, and like members, and like the ripple effect of like, you impact one person, you can impact an entire community, and like, oh, that goes like beyond anything I can even imagine.
That's the exciting part about social media, is yes, there's analytics, and I can say, hey, 1 million people saw this reel. But the thing that you'll never know is the actual impact that it had. So, you know, maybe 100 people saw this reel, but maybe 10 of them went outside and went for a walk because of it.
Seriously.
I'll never know.
You'll only know like what's behind you'll only know a probability and statistics, right? You won't know like your video impacted 4 people's mental health score today on their, you know, like, but like, that could be a thing. Like, because it really is more impactful than just great authentic content that people can relate to. It's more like you are giving someone you're opening a door a doorway to a new experience for someone to try, because you never know what like the outdoors can do for you, and a lot of people lack the education and awareness of the health benefits of being outside.
Yes.
It's freaking crazy to me. I don't know what I'm doing with my hair, but like.
So all that being said, what do you feel like is your responsibility and what is your plan as a creator / influencer /
I know that was part of your question. Yes. I went off about mental health.
No, you answered the first 2 parts of the 3-part question. So.
I forgot there was a third part. I feel like, so it's hard for me to have like a plan, because I am kind of not all over the place, but like I have so many passions when it comes to like outdoors. Like I love mountain biking, and I love like experiencing new places and being able to tell stories through my experiences and just in that kind of thing. So I don't know. So my main, I guess my main thing would be like, I want to create a space that encourages more people to go outside, more people to ride bikes and try it out. Like try like an outdoor recreational activity you've never done, and like just feel the impacts it has on your body, and like see if you like it. Just try something new, like get out of your comfort zone, out of your routine, and just like sit in nature. Slow down. I think slow travel has been really important to me. Like obviously my time management's not the greatest, so slow travel is, I could think that one day passed and it was 7 days. My mom's freaking out, like, where are you at? Still in the woods? And just kidding. But like, just, I don't know. I want people to live intentionally and do things that bring them joy, follow their passions, and be courageous and be comfortable in the uncomfortable. And I think it's like, it's hard to, it's hard to kind of have a plan, because I'm still figuring it out, I guess. But I just know all I know for a fact is I want to impact people, and I want to make the world a better place. And I feel like if I can reach people and connect with people and bring them to the outdoors, and then they feel a connection to nature, then they're going to be more prompt to help care for it. And like, I feel like at some point I want to like start like a nonprofit, like conservation, like, just that kind of thing, because people that don't get to experience nature or don't care to aren't going to help protect it and advocate for it. And I think it's so important to get people to reconnect with themselves and like the world around them, and we can all come together and literally save the earth, I guess. Caring for the environment and conservation has been important to me for a very long time, but more so like in the last like few years I've been like really trying to just be sustainable and that kind of thing, not use shitty products.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but the short summary of that would be connect people with nature and motivate people to also be sustainable to save the planet. Yeah. Is that very simplified, but obviously very simplified?
So when you connect with nature, you're connecting more with yourself, and like you're becoming one with like the earth and the world around you, and like, and the environment obviously impacts you immensely. So if you're going to care for yourself, you ultimately need to care for the environment. And it's hard to care for the environment when you don't feel connected to it. And since like, phones and computers and social media, like there's a huge bridge and a gap between the connection to nature and like corporations and like, I don't know, like, where was I getting at? Oh my gosh. But yeah, so connecting to nature to connect with yourself, and then you connect to like caring for the environment, I guess. Yeah. It all comes like full circle though. Yeah.
Well, to care for yourself, you connect with nature. To connect with nature, you have to care for it, and then by caring for it, you're connecting, like you're helping yourself because you're.
Like a full circle thing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because like it's hard for people to want to pick up. It's simple as like, leave no trace, right? Pack up all your stuff. But like, even if you just want to like walk down the street and like pick up garbage and whatnot, like people don't really care to do that because it's taking away from like their time. Yeah. But like intentional living and like just be like, even the smallest piece of trash you're picking up, like by doing that, you're caring for yourself because you're in this environment that you're living in. Like so it's like just like a little thing. You don't have to go pick up 20 pounds of trash, ocean cleanup, but like a Snickers wrapper, like something, and like doing good for the environment is doing good for yourself ultimately, I guess, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
So I would say this is something I've been trying to navigate as well. So I'm trying to do a lot more outdoor community events, right? So camping trips and stuff like that. And one thing I'll touch on, I don't want to dive into it, but I use AI to help me make some stuff, right? Which a lot of people are like hard against, which is understandable.
I have my thoughts.
I'm learning more about it, so we'll see how that goes forward. But so AI is one thing, and then other sustainable things. So like red Solo cups, paper plates, stuff like that. Okay. I think they're not good for the environment. I think they can be done better. But I also think, especially when it's something like, if it helps me connect people with nature and I deal with it as responsibly as I can,
I see what you're saying.
it's kind of a necessary evil to accomplish the goal that I want to accomplish.
Okay.
Because say I have a party or an event with 100 people, okay, and I use a shit ton of red Solo cups, and I don't know if this is the right thing, but most of the time I just burn my garbage.
It's better than the landfill.
That's why I figure it's better than.
Yeah.
So that's what I normally do.
Yeah, little air pollution, but it's better than.
Yes, but let's say I do this. So I do that. I have a shit ton of red Solo cups. We burn them. We do whatever. All the trash you burn. It's stuff that's one use essentially. But now I connected or started to connect 100 people with nature. So now that's 100 people who, at the end of the event, everyone picked up the entire campsite. We picked up all the red Solos. We picked up all the plastic that went everywhere. We did that. And now when they go somewhere else, they're picking up that extra red Solo.
Yeah.
They're picking up that extra paper plate off the ground. They're doing the Snickers wrapper. So I think it's kind of a necessary evil at some point. Like, okay, so realistically speaking, in the world that we're in, it wouldn't be possible for me to do it sustainably. Like, I can't get 100 plates, 100 forks, and 100 cups, and 100 all this stuff to make it possible to do that thing. I would love to get to that point where, I have...
But you know what the difference is between, like, what you're saying now and, like, because you care for the environment, obviously, your awareness is a huge difference.
Yes.
You're intentional about, like, this is impacting the environment, but you also know that you're going to have a more substantial impact by bringing these people in to connect with nature. So it's kind of like, not the ripple effect, but it's kind of like paying it forward. Like you care for the environment when you can, and there's some things that it's okay. Like, don't be hard on yourself to use 100 plastic red Solo cups. Maybe other cups, because the red dye kind of sucks too, but okay, besides that, I mean, I've definitely thrown away probably thousands of red Solo cups, ping pong, or beer bong, whatever. But like, you have that awareness, and that is the most important impact you can have. Like, whether like you forget sometimes to burn your red Solo cups, or you throw in the trash because you're like, I'm gonna fuck. I picked up a bunch of trash yesterday. I can, just do this one cup today. You're mindful and you're aware of like the impacts, and that's the most important thing, because that's ultimately what will be a greater like determining factor of like the health and state of the planet is because of the awareness. Like, some people just literally don't care they'll have like a glass plate and they're throwing it away after one use. What?
Yeah, I think that awareness is definitely the thing that is lacking at most places. And by connecting people with nature is, in my opinion, the only way that you can really make that change, right? Because if I don't see the results, if I live somewhere where there's never trash anywhere, then I'm assuming it's not a big enough problem. But then I go somewhere where trash is everywhere, and I'm like, oh shit, this sucks. This needs to be fixed. And I think that happens for a lot of people, where they go, to a different country or a different area in even their state, and it's like, oh shit, like, why is this so trashed? And bringing them aware to that is what you can do. And I also think, so, like I said, the necessary evil is the aspect, right? I saw this video not too long ago, but it was basically, I want to say it's called Vegan and, right? Okay. Have you heard of this concept? So basically, a lot of people say, I want to be a vegan, but I love fish, or let's say I love steak or chicken. Let's say chicken, right? I want to be a vegan, but I love chicken. Just be a vegan who likes chicken or who eats chicken. That's right? Like,
true,
only make that exception, but like do the rest of it. And instead of not doing any of it at all, it's you start it and you can make that progression. The same thing with like this kind of stuff. Like, I care about the environment and use red Solo cups. okay, I still care about the environment. I still want what's better. If I have a party and there's 500 red Solo cups in this space after, I'm gonna let every single fucking person know this is unacceptable. Like, and I'm not shy. I think that kind of helps. Like, hey, fuckers, like
you're doing the best you can with what you have, and like you have the ultimate care and best for the planet in mind. But like, there's some things you just have to take an L for. Like,
yes, and that's kind of my stance with AI too. And again, I don't want to dive into this because we'll talk forever about it.
That's okay.
But like, it helps me get people outside. So yes, I acknowledge that it's not ideal, but I'm using it for things that I feel are good. So if it's there, I'm going to use it as a tool.
Yeah.
Excuse me, as a tool.
One extra person using AI.
Yes. So here's my thing, right? If you're one of the people who goes on AI and uses it for like you post 15 photos a day and they're all like dumb memes and they're not adding any value to society, then yes, I think that is unnecessary and should probably be regulated in some way.
That's just a waste of water, but yeah.
But if you're using it for your business, right? Like, and I don't know the actual math to this, okay? If it takes me 20 seconds to make a flyer for my event, okay, opposed to communicating with the designer, sending them references, finding images, pulling those images, sending those images. Now I'm on my computer for 6 hours just to get them enough information for them to put the flyer together, and then it takes them another couple hours to design it and then send it to me. Who's really being more efficient? Who's really hurting more long term?
That's a really excellent way to look at it, though, because that's so true. Because we do disregard like how substantially more time effective AI allows our day to be, kind of, than that whole process you just went through. Because that literally would be like a 6-hour job compared to like a 20 to 30 second shindig.
Yeah, like type in my prompt, I get an image that is pretty much what I need.
Yeah.
Like,
so you know what just came to my mind about that too, because like not to counteract, because you're not harming the environment that much by doing a 20 to 30 second thing.
For the record, if you hard disagree, you can tell me you hard disagree.
No, so I don't advocate for AI, and the data centers and the water contamination and like just all of the misuse of the resources that we have on Earth. They're not unlimited, and like the whole water thing, like the water scarcity is eventually going to happen. Like our rivers are literally going to run dry.
Yep.
But it's like some of the people can't even drink like their drinking water, and like so that is the downside, right? But to anything relative to corporations or the hierarchy in government, like they don't give a fuck about the planet and the environment. But you care, right? Individuals do care, and so you're using it like with your intellect. Like you're not using it to say, hey, how many leaves are on a mountain laurel, right? Like stupid questions that you could like just either ask someone like around or just Google instead of like using AI for like the fast generative like responses. But you're actually using the approach like very mindfully, and that's like I respect that a lot. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here like, I'm just kidding, I won't do that. But it's cool to think about, and I don't know why this just came to my head, but like how you just said like 6 hours compared to like 20 to 30 seconds you'd be doing it. You could literally supplement like a couple hours that you would have spent not using AI to make up for what your use of AI, like more environmentally like you know what I mean? Like kind of like,
well, that's what that's again part of how I justify, right? Like, okay, I can either spend all this time trying to make this, and a flyer is just a silly example because it's an image and it's worse, right? Like it uses more water and whatnot.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So yes, I use it for a flyer, and I then take it into design and change things myself. Like that's how I make my stuff. Like I get a basic thing, and then I can design stuff, but I can't design all of the pieces of it. So like I copy paste, I do other stuff. Yeah, exactly. So I still spend a little bit more time on it fixing it, but it's significantly less time than I would spend if I designed it from scratch. So I can now take that, let's say it takes me 20 minutes max to make that entire finished product. Okay, I now have 5 hours and 40 minutes to spare to do other things, and everything I do is getting people outside, trying to build. Which
that's the best impact you can have on the environment.
Literally though. So if I'm doing all of this other stuff, why is that bad? Yes, I see that's not a great thing, but I'm using it in a way that is helping me do other better things. I'm not
I agree
just
with
sitting there
that.
fucking around like,
Yeah.
hey, make Courtney have a gorilla head and, you know, put her in a bikini and
Yeah.
do all this like weird stuff. Like, it's not.
It's like make me have a family of 5. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Like, what
Like,
are
I
you
don't
gonna
even
look
wanna
like
see
in
what that looks
60
like.
years? Yeah.
But yeah, you use it mindfully and with intention, and that's literally the best you can do because it's there, it exists, and it helps, and I mean it's a phenomenal tool. I don't condone it that much, but like it really has it's a game changer for a lot of individuals, especially who are entrepreneurs and who are starting like a business and like just need that extra time and like less of a hassle. Because they're devoting their time to something more like impactful in the future. Like, you know, I don't even know what the gallons of water is and whatnot, but we're wasting on agriculture anyway. So like, what does it even matter? You're either gonna like, you know, help it and make us knowledgeable or waste it. And we already waste it. So
Yeah, we waste plenty of it. But
great question though, and a great discussion about AI because that is such a tough especially someone in conservation or like, you know, like environmentally like advocating for stuff, and I'm petitioning against a lot of data centers, right? But it's open to perspective. Like I do see how it benefits people.
well, the funny thing is that like same. Like I also think data centers are terrible, and I think that's kind of why I push it for like okay, if you're using it for like dumb personal things, I think that's a waste.
Yeah.
But like if with the infrastructure we already have is plenty enough to facilitate what we need as like business user or business owners and like productive consumers, we'll say. So why are we expanding it? Why don't we just regulate it? Like, hey, the normal person can only do this. Like, okay, hey, if you have a business EIN number, then you get to use 100 images a day instead of 5. Like something like that, where it's like it's regulating it in a way that doesn't completely take it away for consumers, because I think that would probably be not very great for a lot of people. But it still regulates it enough to say, hey, I can't sit on my computer all day and make images all the time. And I do think that's a fad, which it'll run out. Like eventually people are going to get tired of all this fake shit that's like,
it's so annoying. It's so annoying on social media.
But until then, something to combat it, I guess.
Yeah.
But
and it's still fairly new, right? Like
yeah.
I think I downloaded ChatGPT last year. And I don't know if it was out before that or they had like the beta testing or something like that.
It's been out for a couple years now, I believe, but it's really been more popularized.
And I've definitely used it. I'm not gonna sit here like, oh my god, I've never used AI. And it's been helpful and it's benefited me, and like sometimes it's very kind to me. You know, like and it gives me feedback that like I think I need to hear sometimes for my own like state of mind, I guess. Like I don't do it often, but like if I'm really down bad, it's sad because AI knows me pretty, like, you know, my phone knows me and whatnot. And like I'm alone a lot of the time, so like I'm like, okay, well, since AI knows me more than anyone around me right now, I'm just gonna ask you like, what, like, am I on the right track? And like, and even just like that simple question, I don't need to use it for a month because I'm like, okay, I have like this idea in my head, like I just need a validation from, and that's crazy to say, validation from AI, but like this bitch knows me and she knows that, you know, like she knows it's been a crazy transitional year. But like I don't use it often enough to like really benefit from it, but if I'm intentional about how I use it. So like I think the one time, what's the most recent thing that I ended up asking on ChatGPT? I can't remember. I think it was how to embrace the connection between sunsets and conservation, which is very odd, but like it would take me 8 hours to read about like how sunsets form with the air and like all of this kind of thing, and like how eventually we're not going to see the same sunsets as we do now because of the environmental impacts in the future and air pollution and like the contaminants. Crazy to think about, right? And so I needed to literally ask ChatGPT how I can connect the two, because I had this weird thought the other day when I was watching a sunset, like what if like what if these didn't exist? You know what I mean? And like they're so beautiful and they're amazing, and then I'm like, everything else in this world gets taken away from us. I bet these sunsets can also, because I remember reading an article about the ozone layer, like we're fucking up the ozone layer, and I'm like, well, does that change the lighting? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so yeah, light with the sunsets. So at some point we won't be able to see those beautiful sunsets that we see nowadays because we're not caring for the environment. And it's just like, dude, I don't think, like, there's no article on sunsets in conservation. So I'm like, AI, this is like prime thing to ask AI, because like it's a thought that like probably a lot of people didn't have, and I don't know where the fuck it came from. But I was like, oh my God, that's crazy to think about. Maybe it'll open up people's eyes about, maybe if you love sunsets, maybe you'll love like helping air pollution. I don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like a little connection there, but yeah.
Well, I think it's also important with
Why is my foot up like this?
Just really trying to get that,
I guess,
that heat.
Get my toes toasty every year.
I think that's the important thing with conservation, right? Is you have to connect it to the things that people care about, right? Not everyone cares about the trees. Not everyone cares about the rivers. Not everyone cares about the birds. Not everyone cares about the deer. But everyone cares about something. And the more things you can connect to that thing that you care about, the more impactful you can be. And I think that's a very good use for something like AI, where it's like, hey, okay, maybe it's not the best thing for the environment, but like, it's helping me save the environment. Like if I can write, say you write an article, right? So I write an article on how if we don't stop this data center, that sunsets are going to change in our lifetime. And obviously use it for good, like don't make up a bunch of bullshit, but write it in an educational way, and that impacts enough people. Now your 15 seconds or your a gallon of water that it took to get that response is now saving how many more.
Yeah, so true, so true.
So that kind of goes into the balance. But I feel like we've talked about AI
I know,
much more than we were supposed to.
And then I got on sunsets. What the fuck was that? Okay.
It all fits in very well.
That point.
But Carla, how much time are we at?
We're at 56.
Oh, okay. We're doing good.
Okay,
we're doing
cool.
good. Yeah. We're getting close to the end. I'm gonna ask you one more question.
Okay.
If you have a question for me, ask something back. It does not have to be related. And then we'll wrap it up. We'll do a shot and we'll get out of here.
Yay,
Sounds
lovely.
Awesome. All right. So with most of the stuff we've talked today, right? We've talked about how you have the good with the evil, right? So like you balance the good with the social media with the bad, the good with AI with the bad, all of the things. Is there anything that comes to mind in your life that is kind of a necessary evil to accomplish the things that you want to do?
Wow, it's a very good question. And I don't know if I have like an exact answer. I've never even actually thought about that. So if there's an evil that I feel is in my life that I can justify because it serves good.
Yeah, like doing this allows me to do this.
Okay. Maybe give me a couple seconds.
Yeah, you have all the time you need.
That's a question I'm definitely gonna continue to reflect on. But I guess the first thing that pops in my mind is like I do have to drive everywhere, right? And I feel like there's times where I could take the bus or a train if I'm home or bike from like store to store, but like traveling, with gas and all of that, it's an evil, I'd say. And cars are expensive. Ugh. But like I do try to like, go to junkyards, and like I resurrected the car I'm driving now. So I make use of it, but I've also wrecked multiple cars, so I feel like vehicles are inevitable. He's a big guy, huh?
Yeah, I said a big ant.
He's like one of the army ants. But I don't even know if that's an evil, because I don't consider a vehicle or driving and the emissions from a vehicle an evil in my life, because it's a necessity. Yeah. So it's like, I would say vaping is an evil in my life that in this current moment I feel as though I need sometimes.
Yeah.
Or that it does me good, because I convince myself that it's calming my nerves, but in reality the chemical imbalance is actually affecting it more. But because mind over matter, I convince myself that if I take a hit, I'm less stressed. So it's definitely an evil in my life, because I do want to become, I think, a professional mountain biker. Yeah. On the side of like, building like an outdoor community as well. And, the longevity and life impact of a vape does not do me it does not serve me in my life. So let go of the things that do not serve you. I just have a challenging time letting go of that evil, and it's such an evil. There's so many bad things about it. I can go on for days. What about you? What's like an evil?
I feel like we talked about most of mine. So AI and social media are definitely the two necessary evils. I'm really against a lot of social media stuff.
Me too.
I wouldn't say I'm against AI because I think there's more good than bad if used properly, but
yeah, but we misuse and overabuse a lot of things as consumers in the United States, and like AI is definitely one of them, because like if you're using it with intention, yeah, that's one thing, like you are. But there's people that literally just don't care and like will create like just fake accounts and like convince people of this, and it's just false, and it's just like Fox News, I swear, has to use AI. Like it's such fake news in that whole entire. I think they're AI actually.
I think
robots, but
I think a lot more often than. I think it's more often that people are oblivious to the impact than that they don't care about it. And I think that's something that easy that we can do, is just bringing awareness to that. Like,
yeah.
I don't think the average person knows that and I don't know if this number is even real or fiction, but like say the 8 gallons per image. That's something I've heard somewhere. It's been sticking in my head. I don't know if it's true. But if you tell someone, hey, you're evaporating 8 gallons of water every time you make this image, is it worth it? I think that would take a lot of people out of AI.
It would make you stop and reflect and think.
Yes.
Right?
Like, is it worth it to say this thing one more time? Or like to make it regenerate this image for the 15th time? Because I did, for this podcast, I did images where I had this set that I wanted, and I had it like, okay, this is the wood, right? For Buy Me a Log, actually. And I was like, okay, I want it empty. And then the post was, hey, the wood shed's open, and then it's 50% full. Hey, we're 50% of the way there. And what I did is I had it make each of the images, and then I took it into Photoshop and designed it so that it was like say the things I wanted to say, so that I wasn't sitting there going, hey, make it say this with this font. Hey, make it say this with this font. So I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it as much. Like I'm making, let's say, 10 images. But if I sat there for longer, I could make 100 images and do so much worse, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to do it in a responsible way.
You're using it to your advantage, to be honest. Like you're using it to ultimately like better your whole like motive and goal and like impact, like in like platform, and like you have such a brighter, more positive goal for the future terms and future generations than right now. Getting a picture from AI, right? Like you're gonna have more lasting impacts that'll take away from any gallons of water that you use, essentially. But like, if you think about it too, when you flush a toilet, that's like 8 gallons of water. Yeah. So when you're flushing a toilet, or bettering your life and your community and your overall well-being to have a greater impact, right? So it's like we could also, as a nation, change our flushing mechanisms, or why do we need 8 gallons of water every time you flush? That's such a waste, right? But if you're not wasting, because you are wasting water, but we're wasting water all the time in every single aspect. And like,
you think the water waste thing is like, there's so many ways, like the world is so much water, so there's some ways to figure out the issues we're having. And I think, unfortunately, I think the way that things look is that's the problem we're going to be faced with next. Isn't like, okay, hey, our streams are getting low, so now we really need to figure something out. And that's what's going to force people to look at the oceans and pulling water from there instead of
when our rivers are gone,
when they have
people are going to be like, oh,
yeah,
now we should act. But by that point, it's literally going to be too late, because we've already fucked up like Earth's internal process.
Yeah, why not just start there? Start with
the Colorado River.
This is going to happen eventually, so why start with that and just wait for it to happen? Why not put the stuff in place to fix it?
Because we don't care, because we want money now.
Well, that's the thing, it'd be cheaper.
But it's extremely expensive to convert salt water into fresh drinking water, and I get that. But like, it's also extremely expensive whenever we're undergoing a water crisis, and they have to now redo every city's like plumbing or whatever process they have. Like, that's going to be ultimately more expensive, but like they just don't care to take the action now.
Well, it's also not something that person's going to have to pay for, right?
It's not benefiting them right now either.
So like the data center that's built is going to deplete the water. but the city's going to have to be the one who fixes the water problem for the city. The data center doesn't have to do it.
No.
So the data center is not. Why would the data center spend more money to fix a problem that they don't have to pay to fix?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. Anyways.
Sorry, but that's such a great like concept to grasp and like talk about, because honestly, there's this book called When Rivers Run Dry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed with it. It's such a great book, but it's so eye-opening. And Frank Pierce, I think his name is the author. Totally recommend it. But it's more so about like the alternatives and things that other countries are doing to regain a water supply after it was depleted. Like just different ancient like indigenous like cultures, like what they did and how they did wells and plumbing and like, you know, like the things that they created, because like our water sources are running dry and we live in like this hydraulical bubble where we think water is unlimited because we have oceans, but like that, a lot of that water is undrinkable, and we do need half this earth or whatever percentage of this earth to have all that water for other like ecosystems and everything. I'm not entirely sure about oceans, but I just know that water's obviously important. But like there is a way to drink it, but it's like fresh water is literally the roots and seeds of like earth. So we're gonna have to convert the ocean water to replenish the fresh water that our like ecosystems need to thrive and like rebuild themselves for the earth to be like stable and like not, you know, like catch up in flames and whatnot. But like we're not even aware that the government is literally grounding out fossil water. Like I didn't even know we had fossil water.
I don't know.
Which is it's just water deep in the earth. It's like vessel or like, you know, groundwater like comes up from like the cracks of like vaults or like volcanoes or like the fault lines in like the earth, like where earthquakes happen. So there's water underneath, just flows all through, and our government's been pumping that for decades and decades to where the Colorado River doesn't even reach the ocean. But we can't see it because it's happening underneath of us. And we can't visually see that the rivers are losing water, but like it's very slow. And like anyway, that book is just phenomenal and it's eye-opening, but it has like solutions, and like it brings a huge awareness to terms and things that I didn't even know about water. Like when I studied abroad in South Africa, that was during the water crisis, and so that was crazy to see how like, you know, the communities or what they're doing to, I guess, to not to react to the situation, but to, you know, manage during that time. But like I wanted to know what happened to the point where they had to literally have a water crisis. Like how did it get to that point? The government, like, you know, and it's just.
And are we headed on the same path?
Yeah. Hope this podcast doesn't get exiled because we said fuck the government.
No, I mean. That's
not a thing, is it? It might be a thing.
No, I mean, we can say what we want.
True.
It's fine. If they don't like it, they can take it down. Fuck them.
Don't though.
All right, so.
Okay, sorry, I rambled
If you
again.
have any more questions for me, I'll answer them super quick, and then we'll wrap this up. If not, we can just do our shot and be good.
I do want to ask a good question.
Okay.
What was like the turning point or like the inspiration that began like you start like being full in on your YouTube and your podcast and like your take on social media?
Deciding I was going to.
Yeah.
So I'm very much a full send person. If I have a plan B, I don't commit to plan A. So just I wanted to do it. I decided I was going to do it, and I just started full sending it. Like I became I say this a lot, and I feel like it makes me sound kind of dumb, but not dumb, but like questionable. I'm obsessive with stuff like that. So like once I start to learn something or start to do something, it's all I can think about all the time.
Passion, yeah.
And something like working for myself is great for that, because what I was finding, like I worked for Walmart for a while, right? I would go home and I would think about how I could do better things for Walmart. And it got to the point where I'm like, why the fuck I'm giving them 50 hours a week, and then I'm thinking about them for another 50 hours a week. Why don't I just work for myself for 100 hours a week if I'm going to do that for someone? So that's what I started doing. And it went, so I quit my job with Walmart, started photography, which I had barely just bought a camera.
Freelancing and stuff? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Photo turned into video, and well, photo for fun turned into weddings for fun, which turned into weddings for money, which turned into video weddings for money. And then I dove into that world, and then I started doing like commercial stuff, and that the commercial stuff is my favorite. But small business commercial stuff. I don't want to work for like a Walmart again.
Corporate.
What I found was like, okay, I would do really good. And so at one point, I think we were like the 24th or 25th store in the world for social media. Like our social media performance was super high.
I didn't even know Walmart had a social media.
Well, yeah. So each store has
ads.
their own,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So I was our
Damn.
like social champion. So like I ran the social media for our store. And
What an
to be fair,
accomplishment, though.
the competition wasn't great because I was basically just competing against a bunch of old old managers who
You said
didn't
it in
do
your,
anything
you
with
know.
it. So I tried, right, and I did well. And the results would get like, so say you make a post and people come in to buy something. Well, you spend or you sell an extra $20,000 worth of something. Okay. Well, to Walmart, that's basically fucking nothing. They're like, okay, why are you wasting our time with this? But if I can do that same thing to like a small mom and pop shop, that could be literal life-changing money to some small
absolutely.
business. So my thing was, I'm gonna start doing it for that. And so I still do that for fun sometimes. In my area, not a lot of people want to spend the money on it, so it's hard to like, okay, why am I going to go make you $20,000 if you're not going to pay me anything?
Yeah, truly.
And that's the frustrating thing is like if I could show them the rewards that they could get from it, it'd be worth it for them.
Yeah.
But it's hard to show them without doing it, and then at that point, it's like, wow, I'm not going to hold your hand the whole way
Yeah.
through it. So that's frustrating, but
And that's taking on another like responsibility because then I'm sure they're gonna need you to like, you know, maintain it or whatnot.
But anyways, so that turned into, oh, hey, I can do social media stuff. And then I was doing social media for my own businesses. And then instead of just trying to promote myself, it felt like kind of a, I don't want to say grimy way because it's important, right? Like you have to promote yourself on social media if you're a business. But I wasn't giving any benefits or I wasn't bringing anything to the viewers. So by switching to the YouTube style, it was like, hey, I can offer you this advice. I can offer you this review. I can offer you this advice to set up this hammock or whatever it might be. And that makes me feel better. So I'm also connecting with people in that way. And
Yeah.
it's just all of it tied in together and fell in such a way where it was like, nope, that's what I'm gonna do.
Like it
So,
just felt aligned.
yeah.
Yeah.
so that's what I'm doing.
It's a huge. That's I think when you asked me earlier, like where I see like my content creation or like my goals or like what do I want out of the platform. It's so hard for me to answer because I just want to feel alignment like in my life. Like so, what I feel aligned with in that moment, like. I love mountain biking, right? And I love nature and I love like health and wellness and like just I don't know how to put it all together because I don't think I need to put it all together all the time, but like just like making people like feel good after watching my content and encouraged and inspired to go outside and try something new, like solo camping, solo traveling. That's like challenging, but it's also very common on Instagram, right? But I don't want to just be a solo traveler. Like I want to really experience places and I feel like, I don't know, it's one thing to like ride around in your van, like that's great and like do stuff, but like I want to engage in the environments that I'm in, right? So like I like always plan my solo traveling trips around mountain biking, and that I know that that'll kind of set me apart, but like not really because like a lot of people don't like mountain bike, but like I love it and I'm passionate about it. So wherever mountain biking gets me, and with like a community and like just having people to like connect with, I think connection is so important and like heal the environment, please. Like and like that, I guess that's the ultimate goal is I just really want to like do something impactful for the environment because it's done so much for me personally. Yeah,
I love that.
even crashing on like the rocks and like hitting trees with my forehead, it's fine.
Yeah, really experiencing the environment real up close.
I'm like truly immersing myself in every aspect and crevice of this place sometimes, which is cool. And I think I want people to do that too. Like I love hiking, right? But like just trying rock, like I rock climb, but like awfully, like I'm not very good at it. But like it's just trying something new, you know?
Yeah.
And like you're connecting with nature in more ways than like just hiking. Like you're I don't know, you're like climbing on the rocks, so you're feeling like a different essence of like a place, or like you're going somewhere and you're looking at these crazy rock walls and they're breathtaking, right? But how about let's step beyond that and let's try to climb one, like you know, it's just liability, but like
Yeah.
Just have fun. If you know, wish for the best. Don't get hurt, but
Yeah.
and just facing fears. I mean, it's very fearful, but
Yeah. That's the big thing is everything we do is facing our fear, right? Like being in front of people, doing the scary thing is just, that's part of our life now.
And you kind of, I think fear is essential to growth. And like when you step past that, right? Like you're opening up like these new doors for yourself, and like you're proving to yourself that you are capable, because when you step out of your comfort zone and try something that makes you like fearful, or like that you fear. I'm more fearful of like my credit card debt than I am climbing a fucking 70-foot rock wall. So why is, you know what I mean? And to me that's crazy, because why?
Yeah.
Why would I fear it? So I want to step away from all of that and just like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck credit, right? But I let that affect my life for so long. I'm like, I don't give a shit now.
Yeah, we'll figure it out without it.
Yeah, because like we fear so many things, but like we need to actually fear.
Yeah.
Like feel fear, not like
real fear.
Not
like life or death
self-induced fear.
Yeah,
Like I didn't pay my phone bill, now I'm fearing.
No.
You know, so but I'd rather feel that fear like on a 30,000 foot like mountain peak.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a choice, like where you feel comforted fear, if that's a thing.
Choose your fear.
Well, yeah, choose your fears, choose your happiness, choose your joy.
I actually really like that. I think that's gonna have to be our toast.
That was a good one. What did I say? What was it?
It's gone forever now.
I know, like I really have no idea what I said.
I got you.
Cool.
Courtney, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so
I'm
much for
so glad we
having
made this
me.
work.
Yeah.
To choosing your fear.
I like that. Thank you. Yeah. Words of wisdom right there. Lovely. I didn't finish it, did you?
Yep.
My tongue bleeding? He's on fucking fire.
All right. Hey, do you have some left?
Yeah.
All right. Here's what you're gonna do. Right.
Okay.
So take the shot.
I can put it on my wound.
It might light it on fire. I don't know. Don't get too close. Okay. All right. Take your shot. Breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. As soon as you take the shot, like swallow, breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. If you inhale through your mouth first, you're gonna get the burn. So nose, mouth.
I had to sit here and think for a second. What comes first, a swallow or breathing through my nose? I'm like, can I do both at the same time? Okay. I forgot how to breathe through my nose for a whole second.
Was that better?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you didn't make as much of a face that time.
I was focusing on how to breathe again.
And now Courtney's drunk, so.
Oh wow! Is my face red yet from the whiskey?
Not yet. Not yet.
Are you sure? It might be coming on site right now. Holy hell! Who needs antibiotic when you got whiskey?
See, I would cut this, but this is just too good, I think.
Whew. Oh my god. Sorry, oh god. It's getting hot out here.
That's okay. I think we're good. We can do an outro. That's all we have for this episode. If you've made it this far, I truly appreciate it. Wait one more second and see all of our supporters for Buy Me a Log. But that's all I got. Until next time, I appreciate you. Peace. Peace.
Do I do that too now? Okay.
A huge thank you to everyone who bought a log this season. Some of you sparked the fire, others kept it burning, but every one of you helped make Campfire Convos possible. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.